Hashtag how crypto mining actually works. Every 10 minutes, somewhere on Earth, a global competition ends. A winner is chosen. And that winner receives a reward worth thousands of dollars, not for solving a puzzle handed to them by a teacher, not for completing a task assigned by a boss, but for doing something almost no one outside of tech circles fully understands. That winner is a crypto miner. And today, we are going to pull back the curtain on exactly what they do, how they do it, and why it matters so much to the entire world of blockchain technology. This is not a surface-level overview. We are going to go deep. By the end of this video, you will understand crypto mining better than 90% of people who own cryptocurrency. The problem that mining solves. Before we talk about mining itself, we need to understand the problem it was designed to fix. When you send money through a bank, that bank is the central authority. It checks your balance, verifies the transaction, updates its records, and guarantees everything is legitimate. Simple enough. But what happens when you want to send money without a bank? What stops someone from sending the same dollar to two different people at once? This is known as the double spend problem, and it is the core challenge that Bitcoin's creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, had to solve in 2008. The solution was elegant. Instead of one central authority keeping records, thousands of computers around the world would all keep the same records simultaneously. But this creates a new problem. How do all these independent computers agree on which transactions are valid? How do you prevent bad actors from lying and corrupting the record? The answer is proof of work. And proof of work is the foundation of crypto mining. What mining actually is, here is where it gets fascinating. Crypto mining is not about digging up coins that already exist somewhere underground in digital form. The coins do not pre-exist. They are created as a reward through a specific process. That process involves computers competing to solve an extremely difficult mathematical challenge, and the first computer to solve it earns the right to add the next block of transactions to the blockchain, plus a freshly minted reward in cryptocurrency. Let us walk through this in real terms. Right now, on the Bitcoin network, thousands of transactions are broadcast every hour. These transactions sit in a waiting area called the mempool, short for memory pool. Miners collect a bundle of these pending transactions and group them into what will become a new block. But before that block can be officially added to the blockchain, the miner has to solve a puzzle. That puzzle involves something called a hash function. Specifically, Bitcoin uses SHA-256, which stands for Secure Hash Algorithm 256-bit. A hash function takes any input and converts it into a fixed-length string of letters and numbers. Change even a single character of the input and the entire output changes completely, unpredictably. The hash puzzle explained here is where the real competition begins. Each block of transactions has a header that contains several pieces of information, including a reference to the previous block, a timestamp, and a special number called a nonce. Nonce stands for number used once. Miners must find a nonce value that, when combined with the block header and run through the SHA-256 hash function twice, produces a hash that starts with a certain number of zeros. The more zeros required at the beginning, the harder the puzzle is to solve. Here is the critical insight: there is no shortcut. You cannot reverse engineer a hash function. You cannot mathematically figure out which nonce will give you the right output. The only way to find it is brute force. Try one nonce, check the result. Wrong? Try the next. Wrong again? Try another. Miners do this billions and billions of times per second. When Bitcoin first launched in 2009, a regular laptop could mine it. Today, specialized machines called ASICs, application-specific integrated circuits, perform around 100 trillion calculations per second. The entire Bitcoin network collectively performs around 600 exahashes per second as of recent data. An exahash is 1 quintillion hashes. That is a number so large it is almost incomprehensible. The difficulty adjustment, one of the most underappreciated pieces of engineering in Bitcoin, is its difficulty adjustment mechanism. The Bitcoin protocol is designed so that a new block is found approximately every 10 minutes, no matter how much or how little computing power is pointed at the network. Every 2016 blocks, roughly every 2 weeks, the network looks at how quickly blocks were found during that period. If blocks were found too fast, meaning miners collectively had too much power, the difficulty increases. If blocks were found too slowly, the difficulty decreases. This self-regulating system ensures stability. Even if mining hardware becomes 10 times more powerful over a year, the 10-minute block time stays consistent. This is what makes Bitcoin's supply schedule so predictable and reliable. Block rewards and halvings. When a miner successfully finds the correct hash and adds a block to the chain, two things happen. First, all the pending transactions inside that block are confirmed and permanently recorded. Second, the miner receives a block reward, newly created Bitcoin that did not exist before that moment. When Bitcoin launched in 2009, that reward was 50 Bitcoin per block. In 2012, it was cut in half to 25. In 2016, it halved again to 12.5. In 2020, it dropped to 6.25. And in April 2024, it halved again to 3.125 Bitcoin per block. This halving happens every 210,000 blocks, or approximately every 4 years. The design ensures that Bitcoin's total supply can never exceed 21 million coins. As of today, over 19.5 million Bitcoin have already been mined. The remaining supply will be slowly released over more than a century, with the last Bitcoin estimated to be mined around the year 2140. Miners also collect transaction fees from every transaction included in their block. As block rewards shrink over time, these fees are expected to become the primary incentive for miners, a transition that is already gradually underway. Mining pools and the economics now. Solo mining, where one miner goes it alone against the entire network, is essentially a lottery. You might win today. You might not win for years. For most individual miners, the variance is too extreme to be practical. This is why mining pools exist. A mining pool is a group of miners who combine their computing power and split any rewards proportionally based on how much work each contributed. If a pool collectively controls 5% of the network's total hash rate, it wins approximately 5% of all blocks. The rewards are then distributed to members according to their share. Major mining pools today include Foundry USA, Antpool, and F2 Pool, among others. Some of these pools control significant portions of the global hash rate, which raises important questions about decentralization, a topic the crypto community debates constantly and passionately. The energy question. No honest discussion of crypto mining is complete without addressing energy consumption. Bitcoin mining currently uses somewhere between 100 and 150 terawatt-hours of electricity annually, comparable to the energy consumption of entire countries like Argentina or Norway. Critics argue this is wasteful. Supporters argue that an increasing share of mining is powered by renewable energy, particularly stranded hydroelectric power, excess natural gas that would otherwise be flared, and solar energy in sun-rich regions. Recent estimates suggest that between 40 and 60% of Bitcoin mining uses sustainable energy sources, though the numbers are genuinely disputed. What is not disputed is that energy efficiency continues to improve. Modern ASIC miners produce far more hash rate per unit of electricity than machines from even 3 years ago. And some miners are beginning to serve as flexible load consumers on electrical grids, actually helping stabilize renewable energy networks by absorbing excess power during off-peak hours.